Good afternoon, everyone. Good to see all of you here. My name is Wanyi. I'm from PwC Singapore. I'll be your host or your chair for today. Thank you very much for joining us here at Knowledge Plenary 1. Today, we have a series of 5 panel sessions. If you are coming here for the whole session, the topic for today, banking for business. Yeah, so we'll be focusing a lot on using technology and other solutions to help the banking for businesses, for example, the SMEs. So before that, let us first do a poll. If you have joined other Knowledge Plenary, maybe you are quite familiar with this. If you could just bring up your phone, scan the QR code that you can see on screen. It will lead you to the poll question. If not, if you access your SFF app to this session, Knowledge Plenary 1, for today, you'll be able to see the poll question as well. So with that, if we can switch to the poll question. Okay, so it's a very short and sweet question. Just wanted to see what are your views. Today, again, as I mentioned, banking for businesses. We're talking about SMEs. How have SMEs embraced technology to better their business models? If you could just talk through and think through 3 simple responses to that, and we'll see what's your view. I'm sure all of you are coming from different parts of the world. We may see varied experiences from there. Okay, I think just a few more seconds and we can probably show the results live and to see how all of you here have responded. Let's see. I think in Singapore, we have a definition for SMEs, specifically for small and micro. And with that, in terms of the number of revenue size and employee size, to me, I think SMEs in Singapore have started to embrace technology, but there's a lot of potential. Today, we'll hear from our panelists to see whether are there more that we can do, what's the obstacle behind it, and what's doing well. Okay, so I think most of you may be kind of, about the same as what I think. Still a long way to go, or not too bad, but they can do more. So not too sure about the 4%, but if you're one of them, also just share your success story if you do connect and network with others. With this, I'll just like to share a few slides with you. It's really focused on FinTech, and again, SMEs, before I hand it over to the next panel session. So it's a very busy slide. You may not be able to see the numbers. I'm not trying to read out all the numbers for you, but this is a survey that we have done with Singapore FinTech Association, SFA, to get these stats out in terms of Singapore FinTech landscape. Just if you look at the Singapore map by coloring, not surprising, payments. Payments, it's the biggest component of FinTech landscape. It's then broken down to many different parts. Again, these will be available in one of our reports that we will be launching with Singapore FinTech Association. Keep a lookout for that. The other thing I wanted to also show is if you zoom into the lending space, it's a high growth sector. Relatively small in Singapore, 15%. But if you look into that, one of the key to lending is SME lending. Today at the second panel, we'll be talking to a few regulators to think about credit scoring and think about the credit model, especially for lending to SMEs. Next up, I just wanted to share. This is again from another of our report. I literally just launched this report before coming to this plenary session. It's a joint report with UOB and again SFA, Singapore FinTech Association. Today, this year, we focused on embedded finance. Embedded finance is important. It's important for a lot of the SMEs because it helps them expand their business model, helps them provide more services to their customers. And so if you could see, we have 5 categories of embedded finance out there. So we have lending, We talked about that. We have payments, banking, investing, and insurance. We actually have interviewed a few members of the FinTech ecosystem that has enabled embedded finance in this space. If you want to understand more, again, we just launched this report. Feel free to download it on the website. All right. With that, just a summary. Today, we will hear from 5 panels. We'll start with the SME growth story. I talked about the credit lending, credit model to SME. We'll hear from the digital bank that focuses on SME wholesale banking. We'll then look into Africa as a case study. Last but not least, AI in banking. Interesting topic. Has AI failed banking? So that's something that we want to talk about. With that, before I hand it to welcome the next panel, I just wanted to again show you a QR code. It goes back to the same slide, but it's of different purpose. This is for you to interact with our panelists. It's for you to pose questions anytime during this session, anytime during the panel session. If you like to ask them any, the moderator will pick it up.